Good afternoon, everyone. This is TJ Muehleman. I'm the founder and chief organizer person at Standard Co. Here with a new edition of what we used to call Data is Awesome, but Managing Data Still Sucks, that we're now calling Data in the Wild. The reason we're changing this name is because our whole point of this data series is to show you actual use cases of people doing cool data shit in the wild. And what we want to do is pivot this from just me talking about things to maybe me showing you things, interviewing people, talking to folks, keeping it short and sweet, and making it useful. And so we've done about 10 or 15 of these episodes, and we're going to keep doing them. But today we're going to actually talk about how to, ready? Build more precise maps in Africa. Okay, you might be wondering, why do I care about that? Well, it's because it's actually super interesting and super useful. Building maps in low and middle income countries is surprisingly tricky. And we've talked a little bit about this in previous episodes. The geography, the geographical boundaries that we know and love in North America are ever evolving in other parts of the world. And so having a reliable data system that's constantly publishing new what we call shapefiles or boundaries is really hard to find. And thankfully, we helped build one for most of the continent of Africa. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hop on over to this project called ASPEN. We're going to show you a little bit about what we're doing over there. And then we're going to go into Metabase and show you how to build more interesting and more precise maps that are more useful. And then we'll also show you a couple little shortcuts in Metabase. So there's an action-packed episode, lots going on. I hope you're ready for it. See you in a few. Okay, here we are in a website that we call the ASPEN Portal. ASPEN stands for the Expanded Special Project for the Elimination of Neglected Tropical Diseases. That's quite a mouthful, and it should not be confused with ESPN, which is where you watch football. The ASPEN Portal actually is, I think, a really groundbreaking platform that we helped build with some friends in the UK and in Africa to centralize data for a group of diseases called neglected tropical diseases. And one of the challenges we always find when we deal with neglected tropical diseases is that it's called neglected for a reason. They actually affect millions of people around the world, and over 1 billion people are at risk for NTDs. These are diseases that you get from poor water sources or places that don't have adequate hygiene. And so these NTDs are neglected because people overlook them, but also because the data systems that govern them are kind of ignored. So we helped build this project with funding from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and others to centralize the data, but also to create a centralized repository of districts and boundaries for all of the countries in the ASPEN program, which is almost all of sub-Saharan Africa and some North African countries. So one cool thing is we've published the API documentation. So anyone can go to espen.afro.who.int and go to tools and resources and click developer tools. Okay. So that takes us to the API. You can request an API key. You can do all kinds of really cool things in here. But the thing that I'm most excited about, I'm going to jump over to the documentation, is we're using Stoplight for the documentation, it's the cartographies API. So what we're doing here is we're publishing all of the boundaries in two formats. One is a shapefile. So shapefile is what our friends who work in like ArcGIS and Esri, like real map builders, what I like to call them, that's what they like to use. But web developers, like the folks on my team, like to use something called GeoJSON. So GeoJSON publishes all of the boundaries for almost all of Africa once a year. So the cool thing here is you can say, show me what the boundaries look like in 2018 and show me what they look like in 2020. And in countries where they've gone through a political upheaval or a predetermined change in geographies, it's important to track the history of these boundaries. And again, it might sound kind of dull, but when you're really wanting to pinpoint where disease is happening, you need really specific sets of boundaries. So ASPEN publishes that for anyone to use. And I'm going to actually demonstrate how we use it for a project kind of unrelated to ASPEN, but we're using the ASPEN infrastructure. So meet me at Metabase. Okay, we're in Metabase, which is our analytics tool that we've talked all the time about. We have a crush on Metabase. I'm not going to lie with you. So what we're going to show you here is we're actually going to show you how to use a SQL snippet in Metabase, which there's a reason I'm doing this. But we're also going to show you how we're actually using the cartography from ASPEN to create a map of the inventory of donated medicines in Western Africa, Western Kenya. Okay, that sounds like a mouthful. Here's what's happening. A bunch of medicine gets donated every year to these countries. Countries store that medicine in their district, in what's called district pharmacies. And the folks who are just donating that medicine would like to know how many medicine tablets are available. And our tool actually gives them real-time inventory of donated medicines in really remote parts of the world. Okay, so we're going to actually show you a county and the districts in that county. Think of them as postal codes, right, for North Americans and the Brits. We're going to show you a county called Vihiga. Vihiga is a county in Western Kenya. It's a fairly small county. And we're going to show you some data there. So we actually haven't done this data collection yet. So I've kind of created a little scaffold of data. And I'm going to actually show you how we did that with SQL snippets. So I've created this Kenya sample data in Vihiga. And it's just, again, little scaffold of data. No real data here. But I've created the inventory, this number, and then the administrative ID. So this 54279, 277, so on and so forth, those correspond to actual districts from the ASPEN API. Okay, so let me go ahead and add that here. Okay, and I can run this. And so you see over here, I've got my inventory and my district ID. The district ID corresponds to a district in the ASPEN API, and I'll show you that here at the very end. So I'm going to visualize this. I'm going to visualize this first at the country scale and just show you kind of how we think about building more precise maps. So I'm going to pick a map, and I'm going to do a region map. And my region, I'm going to start with Kenya, so the entire country of Kenya. My metric field, this is the field that we're counting, right? So inventory is the counter, and the region field, this is what ties my data to the boundary in the map. Okay, if you don't have this lined up just right, and I'll show you that here in a minute, then your map won't illuminate. Okay, so district. Okay, so this is what I'm wanting to show you, right? Okay, this is the entire country of Kenya. Kenya is a big country. It's about 80 million people live there, and it's beautiful. You should go visit. But you can see that, like, wow, this is not really useful, TJ. And it's because Vihiga down here, this teeny tiny little county right here, that's what's showing up. Well, how useful is this map? It's not useful at all, right? Because we're actually only doing this data activity in one county that has 5 districts. So why show the whole map, right? Wouldn't it be cooler if we showed just the county? Well, that's what we're here to show you. So let me come back here. And instead of doing Kenya, I've already loaded up Vihiga County right here, not to be confused with Virginia, which is what I did earlier. Vihiga County, Kenya. If I pick that, and I've got inventory, I've got district, and now instead of that whole huge map that's kind of useless in this teeny tiny blue dot, you now have just the county, okay, and the 5 districts and their inventory, okay? So if I'm looking at this map, this is more meaningful to me than, say, the bigger, broader map. And I'm going to show you how we configure that in the administrative panel in Metabase here in just a moment. One other thing I want to call out is you'll notice that these boundaries aren't the most precise, and that is on purpose. Okay, real boundaries in the real world are what we think of as polygons. Okay, polygons in most places are fairly detailed, have a lot of precision, right? But the more precise they are, the bigger the map is, the bigger the payload is. So in this particular case, we stripped away a lot of the precision to make the lines fairly straight, to make the payload smaller so that it was easier and quicker to render. And this is important in places with low bandwidth. So if I'm looking at this on a phone in the field, maybe I'm looking at this in Vihiga County, I want it to load more quickly than, say, if I'm sitting on a fat broadband connection in Nairobi. So this is important for it to load quickly in places that don't have high bandwidth. So that's why it's looks like that, and that is on purpose. Okay, the last bit of this video, we're going to actually jump into the admin section. I'm going to show you how to configure maps. Okay, so I'm in the admin section of Metabase where we load maps, and Metabase at this moment, I believe, only lets you consume a GeoJSON map, which is a web or cloud-based map. You can't upload, say, a shapefile. So if you've got a shapefile but no GeoJSON, you'll need to convert that to GeoJSON, load it somewhere, maybe an S3 bucket, and store it there. I can talk to you through that in another video. But for the purposes of this map, this demonstration, I've already loaded a whole bunch of maps into Metabase because we use a lot of mapping. And I'm just going to search for Vahiga. Okay, so it's right here. So the way you configure it is you have your URL for the GeoJSON. So this URL, if I took this URL and plugged it into my browser and hit it, I would see a whole bunch of GeoJSON with latitude and longitude points. Not terribly useful to the human eye, but to somebody who's building a map, it's very, very, very useful. And so you plug that URL in here, and I'm not going to get into how the URL is constructed because it's for a topic for another day, but you can plug in any GeoJSON URL here. And then you pick your admin3 ID. So remember, we talked a little bit about the ID. That ID comes from the GeoJSON and from my data, and they have to line up to know which district we're looking at. And then admin3 name. So what is the name of the district? Hamisi, Vahiga, Amuhaya, and others. And so when you save that, it will render here in Metabase what the map looks like to make sure that you're actually looking at the right map. So that concludes today's Data in the Wild presentation, where we talk a little bit about how to build more precise maps, more useful maps. We talk a little bit about SQL snippets, and we talk about how our data platform aligns all of these data things together to make data management, data engineering, other data things more useful and more impactful. So hopefully you found this useful. Maybe next week we'll talk about nachos because November 6th is National Nacho Day, which is an important day to me. It's kind of like my Christmas. And so tune back in next week. As always, like, share, and distribute this video widely. Tell everybody about it, and let us know if there's anything you'd like to see. Thanks a lot.